that's the goal here, is make value self-evident and make it so obvious that a customer can look at this and say, my goodness, this is awesome. I'm so glad that we brought you all in back in April. And of course, we're going to expand our relationship with you and Renew, because our team is getting a ton of value and you're showing me that. And no other vendor has been able to do that for me. There's power in the process as much as there is in the results themselves, right?
Right. And the easy thing to do is, like, this is like slide number 1 in our executive business review, right? And what we say is, so what we're going to talk about today, the dotted line part, that's what we're going to hear talk about.
That's awesome. And that's where the
customer, what do you think? All right. What are the other things that you want to see us focus on to get us there? Suddenly it starts a discussion. Like, this whole thing creates a discussion.
Yes. And we actually have a comment that has come in from LinkedIn here I want to show on the screen. So Kate has asked, what has it been like for your customers going through the value review the second time around? Great question.
Yeah. So what we're finding now is, like, when getting the executive buyer bought in early on is really important. It's actually something that, like, I ask right after we sign the deal. I've got a call with all of our executive buyers, and my ask of them, we pitch this in the sales cycle. We tell them we have these metrics and we track them. It's one thing if I ask for it. It's another thing if the executive buyer asks their team for it. So my ask of them, my only ask of the executive buyer right out of the gate is, will you commit to getting every single one of your users to respond to this? And they all say yes, right? And we end up with 80 to 90% user response, because if the executive buyer sends it out, they're a whole lot more likely to respond. But then the executive buyer wants to see it. And so what we found is that we get executive buyers calling us saying, hey, when are we going to see these again? I want to see this metric again, which is terrific.
Amazing. Yeah.
Right. And so that's, again, I don't have to pull teeth to get it. Or, I mean, and it's not always straight up. It's like sometimes we kind of stall a little bit, and that happens.
Yeah.
It's okay. And what it gives us is like an early kind of course correction signal. We're 3 months in, maybe the benchmark to this doesn't go like straight up. Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's see where it is. That's okay. I'd rather know early on anyway.
Yeah.
Then we can address it. So again, it just gives us proof points. And so the answer to the question is, our buyers have been pretty receptive to this. We're usually, once they see it, getting a second or third one, they just want to see it. And this becomes our cadence, right? And they want to jump on because they don't have this data in the tool. Like, they don't have access to this. So this is something they cannot get on their own. And this is their users' data. It's not someone I'm pulling. It's not my perspective. I'm not spinning this.
Yeah.
So it's their team.
Real objective.
It's their team, right? It's their team. It's their responses. It's their numbers. All I'm doing is giving them back their own numbers. Helps a lot.